welcome back to Fat Mama Physics. In this video, I am going to show you a classic lab that we do in the dynamics and motion unit and as well as Newton laws. So this is actually part 1 out of 2 videos. In this video, I will just show you how to do the physical setup of all the materials. Part 2, I'm going to show you how to collect all the data using a software called Pasco Capstone on your computer. Okay, so let's dive into this. What is this lab all about? This lab is looking at the relationship between the amount of mass and the acceleration of your object. So what does that look like? Basically, here I have a cart which I have attached a string to, and this string will be able to go all the way to this end over this pulley, and I'm gonna when I do this experiment, I'll have a mass attached to the other end of the string, and because there's a mass attached, it's gonna pull my cart towards the other side of the track. Over the trials, I will be varying the mass by putting different amounts of mass on my cart, safely of course, and collecting the motion of my cart over time using Pasco Capstone. So without further ado, let me show you all the materials that we have in front of us. First, you see there's a track, about a meter's worth of track. There is a pulley on this end of this track that I've attached. More on this a little bit later. I also have a cart on a low friction cart, dynamics cart, with a string attached to one side. The string, of course, you can, for your own cart, you'll have to do it yourself. Cut your piece of string, attach it to this end in this loop over here. What else do I have? I have masses, okay? They go about from 10 grams to 1 kilogram. So that's for you to vary your mass. I have here a motion sensor, okay? I have a motion sensor that I am going to place on this side to track the motion of my cart. This motion sensor has a connection on the other side, which looks like this, okay? You can't see that. So this, you won't be able to connect it to your computer unless you have a USB link adapter. So how does this fit? Okay, do you see the circle ends? You make sure that they are they're lined together, and you just snap it in like this. On the other side of this USB link adapter is, of course, a USB cable, which then you can connect this to your computer. Which, why not? I'll just do it right now. Oh yes, and if you're wondering, my computer is right here, is on the side, and I am just going to snap it in there, okay? All right, so now that you know all the materials in this lab, I just want to mention some safety. In terms of safety, the important thing here is your dynamics card. These are very expensive and very sensitive. They are easily broken, so you have to be very gentle with them. First things first, now take a look. This is what happens if you play with your dynamics card and it breaks. The spring-loaded gun here won't retract back, and it won't click into place. So please don't play with the spring-loaded gun. It will damage the cart, and this is what happens, okay, for students playing over many times. The other thing you have to be very careful about this cart is please, please, please don't make this drop on the ground, okay? It's going to be carrying some very heavy masses, so then when it does roll to the other side of the track, make sure there is someone on the other side to catch the cart so it doesn't fall onto the ground, okay? You're responsible for damages. I can tell you about one set of these things, roughly about $1,000, so not a good idea to be messing around with them. The other thing I want to mention in terms of safety and just the sensitivity of our equipment is the pulley. Now, I have a nice looking pulley, what it should look like. So you have a pulley on this side, which you can adjust the angle using this knob over here. But then you also see that there's a clamp on this side, which is supposed to clamp to the other end of your track. This is intact, okay? So you can see I can adjust it using by turning the knob here. I can adjust the clamp. However, if you push the clamp too hard, or let's say you snap it to the other side and you're like, oh, I gotta get it tighter, and you keep twisting it, you will damage this piece as well. It is plastic, it is also not very sturdy and strong. So you just need a sturdy attachment. You don't need a super tight. And what happens if you do that? You're going to end up with something that looks like this. You have this is damaged, of course. You can see the other end is missing, so I can't twist the knob on this side. I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to show you how to use it in case you have a damaged one, because it's not as obvious, right? So that's what happens to a pulley if you are not careful with it, and of course you're responsible for damaging it as well. So first things first, let's show us how to attach the things onto your track. Now, one thing you notice about my track is I have the track hanging off the table on one side. You'll need that because you need the hanging mass to actually have space to fall. So making sure nothing's on the other side, especially if you have a laptop, you don't want a 50 gram or anything that could potentially fall on your laptop that's on the floor. So clear the floor space where the mass is hanging off. I'm going to turn the camera. Okay, so here you have this pulley, and of course if you have a nice pulley that looks like this, all you have to do is to make sure the two teeth marks hang over the top. You hold on to the teeth marks, and then you see the knob that's at the very bottom. You twist that knob gently. As long as this pulley is held in place, please don't turn this knob even further, as it will damage the knob and maybe break it itself. Okay, so I hold it here and I twist the knob until the knob fixes itself onto the track. Okay, as long as it's tight, that's it. Okay, you don't need to do anything else. Of course, some of you might have damaged ones, so this one you kind of have to play around with this top over here, and then you just have to adjust it so that it makes a snug fit with the track. That's the best that you can do. Okay, all right, so that might be a little bit too loose. Anyways, you have to kind of get your finger in there to kind of play around with it to make it tighter, of course. It doesn't matter which angle your pulley is hanging off of. This is fine. Directly horizontal is fine. Let's just get started. Okay, so that's the pulley. That's the pulley. My pulley is done. So I'm going to reposition my camera to show you how to attach the motion sensor. Okay, so here we have the motion sensor. It's already hooked up through the USB link to my computer, so I don't want to worry about that. The motion sensor, first things first, you want to check the top, okay? You can see the top, it has a person and it has a cart looking diagram, and there's a flippy switch. You want to make sure the switch is flipped to the cart and not the person, okay? So I flip it over so it's on the cart side. Maybe not, you can see that. Once that's the case, what you want to do is this motion sensor can actually attach itself to the track by just clicking it in like this. So there's the attachment piece, okay? So you just slide it in. You don't need to put it on top. You slide it in right on the side, okay? Just like that. And one thing you can adjust is a knob. This knob right over here, you can adjust for the angle, making sure that this motion sensor is pointing directly at your cart. So I snap it in and I adjust it so it's just a knob, so the motion sensor is able to hit my cart, okay? So there's that piece. Next part is the setting up the cart, okay? All right, so notice that you have a cart, and one side of your cart, or actually both sides of your cart, has a little hole at the top. You can attach your string there. Mine is already attached, so I'm just gonna use it. So what you wanna do is you wanna put your cart here on this side, and I'm just gonna do a dry run where I don't have any mass on top of my cart. So I need a string that is not too long and not too short. I want it long enough so it actually goes over my pulley, but I don't want it long enough so it touches the ground on the other side. Why? Because when I hang the mass on the side, I need enough space. I need the mass to actually be able to fall to the floor. If it were all string, then there's not much distance for my mass to fall on the other side. So I can't have it too long either. So maybe have one person hold on to the cart over here, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna attach this 500 gram mass onto the other side of the string, and you're gonna hook it over that pulley that you have on the other side. Okay, so then I'm just gonna dangle the mass and I'm gonna hold the cart. You can see the cart is already wanting to go because I have a weight on the other side. So what's gonna happen is when you take your data, you are going to, on your software, I'll show you how to do it on the software, how to collect the data, but there's a button that tells you to record. Okay, all you need to do is press the record button. As long as it's before you start the motion, then that's it. Once you start the motion, you will hear this clicking sound, tick 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 tick, tick, and you know that you're collecting data. Once you hear the ticking sound, you can let go anytime. And again, notice I stop the car here before it hits the wheels. Okay, so just be very gentle with that. Okay. Okay, notice this pulley is loosening itself, so you got to be very gentle with the pulley. Okay, and hopefully you'll collect some good data. All right, I think this is everything that I need to show you for this video. Oh, and of course, if you want to change up the trials, you then would, of course, put more mass on your cart. Don't forget, it's the whole cart and the mass that you put on it, which is being carried by, pulled down by this 50-gram weight on the other side, okay? So don't forget to measure your masses as well as the mass of the cart at the very end, okay? Otherwise, good luck with your lab, all right? I will see you for the next video on how to set up Pasco capstone. See you next time on Fat Mama Physics, signing out!